Start.
All right, then our folks too. I'm not gonna let this note taker in. Sorry. Zoom is so extra. You remove a note taker's like, do you want to report? Like, take it. I just don't want it in the room. Like, it
Zoom
doesn't
takes
need.
it personal.
I
Yes.
don't need an investigation. Hey, great morning, great afternoon, everyone.
Everybody, welcome.
Hey, Brian, Charlie, Andrea. Hopefully, I said your name correctly.
Hi, welcome.
Edie, Lambers, Lynette. Great to see you. Great to have you here with
Hi,
us.
and welcome back. It's been a minute. Hi, Lynette.
I like the blue.
Charlie, welcome.
That's very nice.
Hey, Kibi. Hey, Lambers, welcome back.
Glad to be back. Nice to see everybody.
Hey, sorry. Hey, good to see everybody.
Thank you all for being here. I'm gonna actually just I'm gonna get us going because I want to make sure that once Colonel Boggs takes the stage, that he has plenty of time to share his gifts with us. So my name is Reem Labib Tyson, for those of you who I don't know. I think, is it Andrea or Andrea? I think that's
It's
what.
Andrea. That's fine.
Yeah. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
I'm just going to share about the organization and then turn it over to Colonel Boggs. So this is, are y'all able to see my screen? Yeah. Okay. So the mission of the BIPOC Coach Collective is to curate a brave and authentic space for coaches to connect in order to grow their businesses, advance professional development, and elevate our voices globally in the coaching profession. So we've been around since 2020. We launched our membership space in 2023, and we are there's three of us that are on the call today. So there's me, Alex, if you want to say hello. Alex is our vice president. Kibi Anderson is our treasurer, and Gwendolyn Rodriguez Siegel is our secretary, and she's not able to join us today. Alex or Kibi, I don't know if you want to share anything real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the intro, letting us know, speaking us into the room. Alex here. I'm excited for this 2.0 of pricing like a pro. This has been one of our most spoken about, ranted about calls in our existence. So we're really thrilled that Colonel Boggs is here. And since we're talking about pricing, that's why the money jacket's here. And we're getting ready for summer break. So I'm best of both worlds right now. We're doubling up. So I'm gonna pass it over to you, Kibi, if you want to say a few words.
She might not be in a position to do so, so we will open it up later if she is. Okay, so quick save the date, Friday, June 27th at 12 p.m. is our next, our last open networking call for this season. Please feel free to invite your friends, join us. It's always a good time. And let's turn it over. I'd like to introduce you to Colonel John Boggs. Alex teed up what we're going to be discussing today, pricing like a pro. I personally just want to thank Colonel Boggs. I think in 2020, I put an email out to our alumni, our coaching alumni group, and Colonel Boggs spoke up and said, "Hey, I want to know more about this." So I have had the pleasure of knowing Colonel Boggs for several years at this point. And Colonel Boggs, you always show up for people. Even folks that you don't really know, where you're like, oh, let me hop on a call with you, let me support you. So I just want to say thank you for always, being available, for sharing your wisdom and just the real talk. So I personally just want to say thank you to you, and thank you for showing up today, because this is really important. The last time that you did this talk, I mean, people just kept on talking about it. So I'm excited that you are doing, maybe it's I don't know if it's the 2.0 version or what that is, but I just wanted to say thank you. Um, I'm going to read to you all just a little bit about Colonel Boggs, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. So, John believes that leadership isn't about titles or bravado. It's about clarity, accountability, and the courage to grow. As a retired U.S. Marine Corps officer, John is one of the few leaders that have commanded at every rank. He's led combat-ready units, taught at the Marine Corps' most elite training institutions, and served in key strategic roles, including Chief of Staff at the National Defense University, where he helped shape the education of our nation's most senior military and civilian leaders. Today, John is the founder and president of Fortitude Consulting, LLC. John's approach is grounded in respect, realism, and results. And that's what I was saying, John, real talk. He tells the truth that leaders need to hear without judgment or ego and gives them the tools to act with precision, conviction, and impact. And with that, I'd love to turn it over to you, Colonel Boggs, to take the stage, and I'll take my slides down. So maybe we can give
you.
Colonel Boggs a round of applause.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Gallery. Here we go. All right. Hi, everybody. How you doing today? This is great. There's not a lot of people, so this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, because people who show up, those are the people who need to hear whatever it is you're putting out. So whenever you're speaking or you're presenting, now this is completely not on script, but this is just from me to you, something to understand. You go to a big event, you're expecting 20, 30, 40 people, and you get 10. Bravo, because you got the 10 people who really want what you have to give them, and they can really use it. So for those of you that are here and you're on this call, bravo, and I hope you get something out of this. Brian, how you doing, brother? It's been a bit. Okay. Hey, it's okay to come out on camera. If your system is acting up, I get it, but it's okay to come on camera, and it's okay to unmute yourself. It's all good, because here's the deal. We're talking about pricing and how you price. Let me tell you how I got here. At a networking event, a BIPOC networking event, we did the first breakout, and we were chitty-chatting and talking, and it came out that one of the members charged $50 an hour for her coaching. Now, does anybody charge $50 an hour for your coaching? It's okay. I mean, there's no judgment. If you do, you do. I mean, it's okay. After this, you won't. Okay, all right, good. Nobody here does. Very good. Very good. Nicole, Ashira, I'm gonna take a guess that you're not either. Perfect. Gina, you too. Okay. Then the second breakout, a young lady said, "Well, I coach for coffee." I almost, I thought my heart was going to freeze up, and I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even talk. I just stopped and said, "Oh no, I got to do this, because this is crazy. Please, if you're coaching for coffee, stop. I mean, even if you want the coffee, just stop. Buy your own damn coffee. Just stop, okay?" So here's the deal. When you're coaching, when people ask you, see, it starts with this. It starts with this. When you're coaching, you're with a group of people and they ask you, "Hey, so what do you do?" Well, well, I coach dot 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 dot. I do this, I do that, I do this, and you're going down this laundry list of how good you are and your certifications. I've got this certification, that certification, and I fixed this, I fixed that, and da 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 da. Okay, that was a wasted conversation. You wasted however many minutes you were talking, and it was probably a long time. You wasted however many minutes you were talking. Here's a newsflash. Nobody cares what you do. Please understand that. No one cares what you do. So my first slide, you with me? No selling. You do not sell. As a matter of fact, when people ask you what, I love when they ask me what I do, because I turn it around, and this is what I want you to do. You turn it around. You turn it around and let them talk. You've got to get them talking, and you want to be listening very closely. Get them talking. Let them talk as long as you can. Really, that's interesting. What else? Now you're asking your good coaching questions. What else? I'm curious. Can you tell me more about that? Da 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 da. Suddenly, you become a very interesting person. Hey, Zach, how you doing, brother? You become a very interesting person. Okay? So that's what you want to be interesting. Because when it is your turn, you're going to wow them, but not that. We're not going to go there yet, because we're going to talk primarily about pricing, and then we're going to talk about getting clients. Is that okay? Okay. All right. So here's the other deal. Now this, my wife says this looks like a wine glass. It's supposed to be an hourglass. No, by the hour. If you coach by the hour, that is, well, okay, that's 4 hours. That's $800. If you do that and I find out about it, I'm going to come find you. Don't do it. You do not coach by the hour. If you're doing that now, please stop. Don't do it again. Do this instead. Now, this is the first way of how you start pricing. Your first method is hey, I do 12 coaching sessions. I do 6 months. Okay. Here's a hint. I never do 6 months. Now, why do I never do 6 months? Because people begin to have behavior changes at 6 months. They're just beginning. Okay, you want to make sure you have progress, that you have a win. So 6 months is really not the optimum. More like 7, more like 9. That's my number, is 9. Okay, 7 to 9. Because you want to be remembered for being a good coach. You want to raise your prices, you want to raise your ante on who you're coaching. Be a good coach. Coach your tail off. Be a good coach. You don't give advice, you give questions. You don't own answers, you own questions. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute too. All right. If you have a question or something you want to pop in, just ask. Okay, we're all friends here. Just stop and ask. It's okay. All right. So if you don't have a package, some call it packages. If you take your 6 months times, that's how many that you meet twice a month for 6 months. That's 12. I'm coaching John for $200. Okay, great. Then your package is $2,400, right? Right. No, it's not. It's $2,400, and then now I need you to bump that up. What are you going to bump it up to? Bump it up 10%. You just bumped it up $240. That's it. Now I need you to say it. Can you say that? Can that roll off your tongue? Well, yeah, that's pretty easy. Okay, great. Bump it up another 10%. What? I don't want it to roll off your tongue initially. I don't want it to roll off your tongue easy. I need you to get used to saying it. So it does roll off your tongue. But if it seems like, oh my God, that's too much, my question then is, what makes you think it's too much? My next slide. They can't, they can't afford it. Whoa! How do you know that? You have no idea what a person can afford or not afford. You have no idea. Don't go there. Don't go there. Your coaching should always be a little bit of a stretch. Should always be a little bit of a stretch. So the first thing we covered, how am I raising my prices? Well, what do you coach for now? If you coach by the hour, you no longer do that. Not on this call. You don't do it anymore. But I normally coach for 6 months, and it's times 2. So okay, 6 months, that's 12 sessions. That's at least $2,400. Now before you say $2,400, you're gonna add 240. Okay, then you're gonna add another 10%. Look at that. How does that number look to you? It will look better, but you start getting into that. You start getting into this mode. Don't do it. Just get very comfortable with saying that number. Get very comfortable with saying that number. Let me say it one more time. Get very comfortable with saying that number. It needs to roll off your tongue like you invented it. And when people say, well, that's a lot of money, we're coaches, we should all be familiar with the pause. That's interesting. Most people tell me that that is a bargain. I've never been told that that was a lot of money. Are you with me? Okay, please be with me on this. Please be with me on this, because this is how you raise your prices. And your price, your investment, you're in the investment. You are an investment. You are not a tomato. If they're looking for a tomato, if they're looking for that thing that they want to smell and squeeze, you're not that. Don't ever be that. Okay, please don't ever be that. Don't ever be a tomato. You're not. Okay, so mindset, don't ever be a tomato. You are not that. You're a coach, you're an executive coach, or whatever you call yourself. You're an executive coach, you're a professional. Okay, tomatoes, I already talked about that. The message, the math, talked about that. Are there any questions at this point? Okay. All right. Now let's turn our attention a little bit now to making sure if you're stuck on that they can't pay this, then you need a different kind of client. How do you get that client? We started talking about it a little bit because I need you to go to events. I need you to be seen. Okay? I don't care what religious group you're in, or you're a member of the church, or what's happening now. The idea of a candle that's under the bed does not work. My candle is lit, John, but nobody sees it. Yeah, because it's under the doggone bed. Take it and put it in the windowsill where people can see it. People need to see you. They need to see you. How do they see you? First, start going to events. You don't need to go to a lot of events. Pick your event. Do you need to go to events where they're all coaches? No. Hell no. Okay, now there are coaches out there who their whole market is other coaches. And by the way, it's a very good market because we care about what we do, we care about how we're doing things, and some of us, I don't want anybody here chasing credentials. No, stop. If you have an assessment credential, great. If you have two, great. Do you really need three? Probably not. You don't. Well, I have this certification program for da 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 da. Congratulations. You don't need it. What you need is clients. You don't need it. You don't need to become their client. You need to get your client. Are you with me? You need to get your client. Okay? So you go to events. Events preferably that are not coaching events, but you go to events. You go to small business events. Why? Because you're a small business. You are a business. So you go to the event and you want to mingle. Well, John, I never know what to say with these things. Okay, remember this acronym. The acronym is FROM or FORM. FORM or FROM. Same letters, different words, same meaning. F is family. You don't know how to hold a conversation? Here it is. F is family. So how's your family? Does your family live here with you? Da 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 da. Family. R is recreation. Have you hiked the Appalachian Trail yet? Have you even seen it? Recreation. Get them talking about them. Occupation. Oh, when you get to occupation, pay attention. Because now we're talking money. M, money, which is for you, but you listen to occupation, that's money for you. Then you talk about money. So how much money do you make? No, not that at all. It's not that. It's so what do you think of the stock market? What do you think what's going on with tariffs? Oh my God. That's it. You get them talking about themselves. You're not saying much of anything. You asked four lousy questions. That's it. They've talked for a half hour. You've talked for maybe a minute. And suddenly you know a whole lot about that person. So when they ask you, so what do you do? Now remember, O is occupation. O is occupation. And then when they start talking about themselves, they're great, they're wonderful, and you want them to be. Because that's going to give you some indications of how far do you want to go with, now it's my turn. So what do you do? I want to talk about who I work with. Well, what do I do? Well, I work with people who are very good at what they do. Is this person you're speaking to very good at what they do? They just told you they were. Occupation. So what do you do? How do you do it? You want to pick at that one because you want to know that's who I want to talk to. So I work with people who are very good at what they do. Then I talk about pain. Boy, are you talking about pain, pain, pain. Even those people, they're very good, but they get stuck. They get stuck with people issues. They get tired of carrying the burden of making all the decisions. I'm very casual. They get they get stuck at making all the decisions. They get stuck with people always running in. Oh my God, there's always conflict. I work with them. What do I do? That's when they call me. I work with them. That's when they call me. They reach out to me. Are you with me now? This is very important. Some people will call this the five-part pitch. Okay? I'm not saying a 30-second pitch. I didn't say that, did I? Because you're just having a casual conversation. I talked about pain. Ooh, yeah, you're right about that. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what do? People reach out to me. We have deep conversations. We get involved. We talk about it. And then they're feeling better and they start doing better. Oh my. Yep. As a matter of fact, some of the people I've worked with have gone on and become high school principals. They've gone on and they've become CEOs of their organizations, or they've gotten promoted 3 or 4 times, or they've increased the value of their company by X. Okay, now this is all you now. Okay. Results. You talk about the results you get. And that's four. There's a fifth part. As a matter of fact, would you know any people like that? I'd love to meet them. Do you know? Do you know? Are you with me? Boom. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I've been out here a long time. What I just went through, that works. The most important thing that I can tell you when it comes to getting clients, it is always, let me go back. It's a problem with my slides here. You always want to articulate the pain that they're having, the pain of the people you work with. Remember I said, oh, I work with people who are very good at what they do. I didn't say I work with principals or educators or whatever. Now, if you can do that, you can say, well, I work with educators who are very good. The ones who are great at what they do. You hear me, Zach? You with me? I work with educators who are very good at what they do. Ah, that's who I work with. And these are the people they experience this. Boom. What is the pain? When you're talking pain, you've got their undivided attention because now they're thinking, oh man, yep, that happened to me, yep, or it happened to Billy Bob and he's my boss. Oh God, yes. So when you stop and you say, do you know anybody like that? As a matter of fact, since we're talking, would you know anybody like that? As a matter of fact, I do. It's me. Hey, can we talk? Absolutely. Okay. So when you're out networking, that's how your conversations flow from or form because you want to make the connection. Occupation, pay attention to that. You want to ask them, so how do you do that? What else is that? What goes into that? Wow, great. So when they ask you what you do, oh, here we go. Am I going to race through this? No. Am I going to tailor it a little bit? Probably. But right now you have the mix. You have the right stuff to get people's attention, have it focused on you, and people are saying, he's a great conversationalist, and you only asked 4 questions. They did all the talking. And when you talked about who you work with, the pain they experience, what you do. I help them get past that. I've had some people ask me, so is that coaching? Is that coaching? And the John response is, coaching is involved. That's the John response. Well, coaching is involved. I don't say, yes, it's coaching. I didn't even bring up the word. Did you notice that? Please notice. I didn't even bring up the word coaching. They brought it up. My response, coaching is involved. Okay, you tracking with me here? So this now, and it's always good to throw in up front. And I don't work with everyone. Now I'm going to tell you that's true. Everyone on this call, you should never ever work with everyone. Oh man, I didn't make my last slide. Okay. On this slide was supposed to be the word scarcity. Scarcity, okay? The law of scarcity. And there's actually a book written on it. It's a great book. The law of scarcity. When you can't have it, think of anybody here with parents. Boy, you tell a child what they can't have, they're all over you, aren't they? I'm sorry. No, you cannot have an ice cream cone today. No, you cannot have that candy bar. No, you can't. They're going to wear your butt out because they want ice cream. They want whatever it is. They want it. They want it real bad. Tell them they can't have it. They want it real bad. So, ladies and gentlemen on this call, you have to become that ice cream cone. I know you want it, but you can't have it. Can't have it. No, no. Well, I don't work with everyone. That's always good to, after you've gone through your little spiel, well, what does it, I'd like to know more about this. Well, I don't work with everyone. But you can work with me. Well, I don't know. We'll have to, let me vet that. Well, how do we do that? Well, we're doing it right now. Okay, you always keep your conversations fluid, always keep them short. Short is powerful. Okay, you can ask them the next question. You can ask them the next question to vet. So, what does success look like for you? Shut up. What's the biggest problem you've been having lately? Okay, they'll continue talking. Well, would you like to know what it's going to take to work with me? I'd love to know what that takes. This is about pricing. I'd love to know what that takes. Well, it takes three things. It takes time, talent, and treasure. Now, if you work with a nonprofit, you're very familiar with the three T's: time, talent, and treasure. Okay? Time. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take your commitment. You've got to be committed to making the behavior changes, to making these changes. You got to be committed to it. The second thing I talk about is treasure, not talent. And it takes investment. You've got to be willing to invest in your development. Well, what does that mean? Well, to work with me, that's $30,000 for 9 months. You've got to be willing to invest, because how we take advantage of your talent. You see, how we take advantage of your talent is by you participating in the coaching, that we're working together to get you to that next level. Because the people I work with have gone on and they've realized the results, they've realized the return on their investments. You see, I don't ever finish your conversation with money. That's what gets remembered, and it's never remembered nicely. I don't care how much you say it is, it's always too much. What do you want them to remember? I don't work with everyone. And that's a good way to end it. And I don't work with everyone, but you do seem like someone I could work with. Would you like me to send you a proposal? Yes, I'd love to see that. Get it out that night. Don't let the sun rise without you getting it out. What does that mean? That means this: if you have a proposal, your standard way of doing your proposals, do the proposal. You need to have your proposals on your computer. So you just bring it up and plug and play. Situations change. Here's the situation. Here's what they're trying to accomplish. Here's the methodology I'm going to use. Da 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 da. Because why do you know this? You know this because he talked to you about what? His occupation. He told you about you asked him, so what does success look like to you? Well, what problems are you working with? Are you with me? What problems? Okay. Now you now have more than enough to give a good proposal. Have you all heard of this thing called AI? I mean, it's okay if you haven't heard about it. I just heard about it myself. But hey, here's the deal. Use AI, folks. If you're not using AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, whatever your druthers are, that's fine. Make sure you train it. Make sure it knows you. Make sure it knows you, how you speak, how you turn a phrase. And then you put in your raw notes, because you're going to go down and you're going to scribble your notes out, da 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 da, and just throw it in there. Hey, I need this is my standard proposal. I need this, and have it spit it right back out to you. I need it to be professional. I need it to be, casual, professional. I need it to sound like I have a board stuck up my butt, whatever. But however you need it to sound, it will make it sound that way. And of course, you all know this stuff. Young people, you guys know this stuff far better than I. But I'm smart enough to realize, no, 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 no. You better be on the front edge of this one because this one will help you. It will help you always come off professionally. It will help you in upping your ante with what you're getting paid. And that's people, when your proposals are on point, that enhances who you are. That enhances you. Are you with me? It enhances you. So when you go in and you say something like, well, this is $30,000 for 9 months, they may cough, but you won't. What you do is this, you give them 3 methods of payment. You're getting it all now. And this might be 2.0. You're getting it all. You give them 3 methods of payment, always 3 methods. You can pay it up front. When they pay it up front, I give a 10% courtesy discount in the investment. And please watch your words. You're always an investment, always an investment. When they pay it all up front, 10% reduction in the investment. Okay? The second method that, again, this is what John Boggs uses. You use whatever you want. This is what I use. My B option is it's 50% up front and the remainder is paid over the next 8 months. This helps them with their cash flow. My C option is very helpful with the cash flow. Now, it's very helpful with the cash flow. C option is you pay me monthly at the beginning of every month. But I put a caveat, if the payment isn't made, we stop coaching immediately. Okay? Personally, I don't like that one, but this is what I do. I say 9 months, I say it's paid in 8. It's always paid in 8. Everything's paid in 8, not 9. I had a horrible experience. My first client was the New York City Police Department. Believe it or not. Nobody gets the New York City Police Department. I had the New York City Police Department, and they got a bargain. They got me for $20,000. And it wasn't until I was over with my engagement that I realized it should have been $200,000. Because they paid McKinsey, they dropped McKinsey and took me. Nobody drops McKinsey. They dropped McKinsey and they took me. Then I found out what they were paying McKinsey. See, the New York City government, the firefighters and the Department of Corrections, they love each other, right? No, they tell on each other real fast. The fire department told me, says, you know how much they paid McKinsey? No, I didn't. They paid McKinsey $2 million. What? So that was one on me. I learned a valuable lesson. I learned a valuable lesson about letting numbers roll off your tongue and not be concerned with what they can or cannot pay. Okay, please don't ever be concerned with what they can or cannot pay. What you do is you try and make it so their cash flow works. Okay, you can pay monthly, but it has to come at the first of every month. What does that mean to you? That means you've got to be invoicing at least 15 days before the end of the month. Okay? So what I just don't give them Hey, it's due on, I see this all the time. This is crazy. Due on receipt. I don't even pay attention to that. Due on receipt means nothing to me. Do you think it means anything to your clients? They have a system of payment. They're not going to break their system of payment for you. Beginning of a month, end of a month, okay, they can get that, they can fit that in their 30-day window or 15-day window. So that's why I stop and say you gotta invoice them at least 15 days out. And if you invoice them a month out, that's fine. That works with them. Okay. Questions? What questions do you have?
Colonel Boggs, Alex over here. Thank you. This has been amazing. Thank you for dropping the bombs. A question did just pop in my head with the due on receipt thing. So what verbiage would you specifically use rather than due on receipt, pay first of the month, end of the month? Is that what
Yep.
you advise?
Yep. First of the month, end of the month.
Awesome. Thank you.
I never use due on receipt is sounds good. Have you ever gotten one? Have you ever been paid the day after? No, you probably got the check 15 days later. Yeah, that's due on receipt. Brian, what's up?
So Colonel Boggs, I have a question based on the previous topic that you mentioned. I'm curious about the right event. That seems to be a thing because sometimes you'll go to a networking event and you'll say, "What have I done?" So strategies for finding the most powerful, influential, the rooms I need to be in. What would you say?
Excellent. Great question, because networking events are not equal. So here's the number one bestseller for networking events. If your area, and they probably do, if your area has a business leaders organization, you want to get involved, because they'll tell you, well, we don't pitch here. I know you don't pitch here. Baloney. Now what's done now, remember how I did it? Remember I said, oh, I work with people who are very good at what they do. Even people who are good at what they do, they get stuck. They get stuck with this and that and this. It's just a casual conversation, right? Did I pitch? No, but everybody here is, I'm pitching my butt off. But did I pitch? No, hell no. It's, oh, well, I do this, that. No, that's a pitch. You said who you work with, the pain that they experience. They call you, you work with them, they've done well. As a matter of fact, some of the people I've worked with, they've become, they've gotten promoted, they've gotten pay raises, they've whatever, you know. And as a matter of fact, do you know anybody like that? Did I pitch? No. What do they teach you in pitching? You got 30 seconds, right? And you're talking fast, da, 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 da. You are not talking fast. You're talking with purpose. You're speaking with purpose. You're speaking about what you do, how you do it, what the results are. Another way of saying this is called the three whats. It's a structure. Tell them what I'm going to tell them. Okay, that's the three whats. What am I going to tell them? I'm going to tell them who I work with, yada, yada, yada. Okay. The second what is so what? So what? Well, these are the results I've had. They've gone on, they've gotten promoted, they this, they that. Next step. Do you know anybody like that? I love working with people who are good at what they do. They always work hard. Do you know anybody like that? The next step. I gave them the next step. Reach out to me. As a matter of fact, I do. It's me. Or, hey, it's my friend. Or, hey, my boss is here. She needs to know you. Did I pitch? you all know right now, John just pitched his butt off. Am I in the boundaries of no pitching? Of course I am. Of course I am. I never pulled out, and don't do it. I never pulled out a business card. I have them, but I don't pull it out. If I'm asked, I will. When I'm asked, I will ask for theirs. Always ask for theirs. When you get their business card, you always write on the back where you got it so you don't forget. When you get home, your business day is not done. When you get home, you must send them an email. Hey, Brian, it was such a pleasure meeting you. I look forward to catching up with you. Enjoyed the conversation about leadership or whatever you talked about. Short, succinct, brief. Short, no dissertations, and you're not, remember the first slide? You're going to no sell your way into prosperity. Are you with me? You're going to no sell your way into prosperity. Next question. Does that answer for you, Brian? Like out here, Arizona business leaders. There's other organizations that are similar all around the country. There are Chamber of Commerce events. There are award events. If there's an award event where people are coming from all over the place, don't blow it off. If you got an invite to a oh, I love these, invite to an award for women. Now, personally, I love women. I'm married to one, but I love women because women, I'm going to be brutally honest here. Women are more concerned about making progress in the world. Men think they kind of deserve it. Women are more, I'm just being honest, women are more collaborative. Women seek to go forward, to move up, to get better. Men have a hard time with that. Men, unfortunately, will want to pee on rocks. Women don't do that. So any award event that I get invited to for a woman, I'm there. I'm there. No questions asked. But you go to those events are never billed as networking events. Those events are fabulous networking events. They're fabulous networking events. Lastly, I would say Chamber of Commerce events. Because everybody from the Chamber of Commerce, they all know we're all in here to meet one another and hopefully do business with one another. That's the whole idea of a Chamber of Commerce. So a Chamber of Commerce, it's okay to hear. As a matter of fact, if you express things the way we just talked through, you will be different. Everyone will feel like they know you, but you didn't try to sell them. Does that make sense? Because everybody goes there knowing they're going to be sold to. They all know it. Everybody. So you come in there and you don't do this, you do this, and suddenly you're the one that gets remembered. Holy smokes, how the hell does this happen? But it happens. Okay. Any other questions? Brian, that was a great question, by the way.
Yeah, from Colonel Boggs, you got a question in the chat. I'm not sure if Nicole is still driving or not, but her question is excuse me, regarding hourly rates. She's been invited to sit on coaching benches and they always ask for her hourly rate. How do you recommend handling that when you subcontract with someone?
Ah, very good. When you subcontract with someone, it is an hourly rate. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. I have a bench, I do an hourly rate. Now I will say this. I don't, now this is just me. I don't think I've ever paid anybody that's on my bench less than $225 an hour. I don't think I ever have. And Brian's a member of the bench of my bench, and no, I've never done that. I've always up where I'm at now is around $300 an hour. And one guy, and it's all based on I take what I take. And that's another way of doing business. We didn't go there, but another way of doing business is to establish a bench. Now, when you establish a bench, what you have to realize is you got to look out for the people on the bench. And, and being on a bench is not a you will get work. It is just another, if you're going to be on a bench, be on multiple benches. As many benches as you can get on them. Because this one may get the way bench work. I have projects with like SRP, a utility company out here, APS, another utility company out here. They reach out to me when they need a coach. I'm on a blanket purchase agreement, very same to the federal government. Blanket purchase agreement. It's nice, but it ain't the greatest because they call you when they need you. So I supply them names. These are the coaches I recommend, and they pick one. That's how it works. And then they pay you, you pay them, and and uh, and I do kind of a 1/3, 2/3 split. I mean, it's it's coaching. On that note, Better Up and the Better Ups of the world, I understand Better Up is changing. I'm not a Better Up fan, but if Better Up is a great way of getting hours. I'll be honest with that. They're a great way of getting hours. For me personally, I'm not a Better Up fan because I feel that they don't pay their coaches much of anything. And I know they're billing you out for a lot of money. And they don't do the 2/3, 1/3. They may do 2/3, 1/3, but guess who's getting the 1/3? It's backwards. Any other questions? No? Okay, then I'm going to turn it back over to you, Alex, Reem, and I see some friendly faces here, people Darius and Zach. Okay.
I actually have a question. I don't know if it's necessarily for Colonel Boggs, but in the context of what Colonel Boggs is saying, I just would love to know from other coaches out there, how are you all navigating just pricing in general, giving the market shifts? Like, what are the trends you're seeing? Like, I'd love to kind of leverage the collective insight of coaches here just to kind of level set and see sort of what, if any, adjustments or not people are making. Anybody
Hey,
have any?
this is Nicole. I hold my pricing, but I make sure that I emphasize the value. And I've always been on the side of, instead of reducing my price for folks, I have access to so many bonuses and resources and things that I can give them as added value. I emphasize that. And the other aspect that I emphasize with my clients is that the pricing that I provide them gives them more access to me than if it were lower. And so I value my time as well, and I always teach them to do the same. So it's access. My clients can text me, call me, send me something to review between sessions. That's an added value that I give, but it's because of what they're investing in me as well.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I would caution anyone against lowering your prices. I would caution against it. As Nicole said, I would offer value. In my proposals, I always have a section in my proposal that says intangible values and tangible values. And the tangible values now, I mean, when I first started with this, it was hard to say what the tangible value was to coaching. Now that coaching has been studied to hell and back, I mean, there's too much information out there about 40%, how many hours you save somebody at work, what do they get paid, how many hours did they save, how many people's jobs did you save? I mean, oh my God. There's a lot of information out there, and and there's a high end, which God, it wasn't HBR, but there's a study out there that points out that the right return on investment with coaching is can be upwards of 700%. And I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. It's out there. You can look it up yourself. But that for many, when they start thinking about this is a lot of money, when you start talking about, well, what does one additional client do for you? You know, you can't answer that question. They can. And if they're doing the work, it's not, you can't bring the client in. They have to bring the client in. They have to do the work. If they're doing the work and you're making the behavior changes, you're getting more out of your teams. You're getting far more out of your teams than you ever dreamed imaginable. What's that worth to you? In dollars and cents, because they can dollars and cents that. There's too much data now. There's just too much. Always refer to the data. Now that's a nuance, that's a pro tip that if you know the industry, you know the company that they're working with, you can always do the research and you can find out damn near how much they make. If they're paying you and you know how much they make, always start with 10%. And then you can go, that's for you before you go anywhere, 10%. And you can go up and down from there. So, well, you know, this person makes almost $800,000 a year. 10%. Are you going to charge them, you know, I don't know, what is it, 80,000? I forget, whatever. Are you going to charge them 80,000? Don't know. I know I've asked for 85. I'm just being honest. I did. And did I get it? No. But did I ask? Oh, hell yes. Zach, what's up?
Just realized that my hand was raised, and I very much did not mean to raise it. John, thank you. I went to I think the first one of these 2, 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it changed how I thought about my own pricing and how I carried myself in those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and I had chatted a little bit as well. You know, a couple of conversations, and it was important to me to revisit this conversation and see what was new, what I'd forgotten, what the nuggets were that maybe I wasn't ready for at the
Mm-hmm.
time. And I feel like, all right, revisiting this conversation again helps me realize that yeah, I'm leaving meat on the bone here.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right. Well,
I
folks, that
apologize.
was
Go ahead.
I
Sorry,
gave
there
you a
was a
lot of
question.
information. I gave you a lot of information in a little bit of time. So feel free to reach out if you need anything more. And Reem,
Yeah. Thank you, Colonel Boggs, so much. I think we all gained so much from our time with you. We have the recording, which is very special to be able to go back to. I still have the same sticky note from your first talk that says, "Would you like to know what it takes to work with me? The investment is." So I have your words here every day, all day. Thank you very, very much. Please share some love for Colonel Boggs. He said that he's also open to questions, and he really, really, truly stands by that. If you reach out to him, he's very gracious, I think, with his time for this community. So thank you, Colonel, everybody. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I put a feedback form in the chat if you could take 2 minutes before you move on to your next. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Reem. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Colonel
you know,
Bob.
Zach, see you
Appreciate
later, brother.
Thank you so much. This was great.
You're welcome.